Edition. This video is another video in our psychology series. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the views on the last oxytocin video, my biology video. I didn't expect so many people to check it out, so thank you guys so much for checking that one out. But this video is a psychology video, my psychology series. This one is what is social exchange theory. So yeah, should be a pretty chill one for today. Pretty short video probably. There's 5 main concepts I'm going to talk about, I think, for this video about social exchange theory. There's rewards, cost, reciprocity, comparison level, and alternatives to comparisons. Alternatives to comparisons. Rewards are things that we first let's talk about why do we start relationships and certain relationships, and it's from this theory suggests that we start most relationships out of a need or desire for something, a want, and which I know seems kind of harsh, kind of selfish in a way, but there's obviously other things that affect our psychology other than this theory. However, so basically it suggests that we try to make sure the rewards outweigh the cost. So the first topic of the 5 are rewards. So these can have a lot of different types of things. Typically, some common rewards would be like for people, and at least in my opinion, would be connections, resources, mainly that. I guess friendships could be, that's kind of a connection. Family, still kind of a connection. But these would be kind of the pros, the positives, the rewards. The cons would be effort, energy, labor, time wasted potentially if you're not liking whatever you're doing. Whether that be like your job or something like a responsibility you have to take care of, homework, etc. So those would be the cons. Those are the cons. So with this, it's like a common example of like something would be like at a work relationship, like let's say you're homies with the boss, you're like your boss is your bro or your homie, and you get paid those pros, and let's say the con is effort or labor. In this scenario, the pros would outweigh the cons because there's 2 pros and 1 con, and that's basically what it suggests and how relationships keep afloat. So another example would be like, let's say you have a job, you make money, however, you don't get along with your boss, and there's also labor that you don't want to necessarily have to do unless you like doing the work. Then there's 2 cons, so the cons are starting to outweigh the positive, the reward, the pros. So then you're more likely to not want to keep the job. So yeah, and that's basically social exchange theory. So reciprocity suggests, the third aspect of it suggests that most of the time it says that we even would seek relationships that would have more pros and cons. However, oftentimes we're not. We're content with relationships where we have equal pros and equal cons, like a 50-50 balance. However, typically as people, it suggests we'd seek like more like a 60% or like a little bit higher, because more obviously as people we don't want a ton of cons. So reciprocity is a balanced dynamic where 2 people go into something, work relationship, romantic relationship, friendship, and there's equal amount of pros and cons. Then you have, and this is usually how most relationships work unless there's some tough power dynamics. For example, if like it's fear or some things that conflict with this fear would be like doing things out of fear or niceness. Because if you do want to start a relationship out of niceness, you might have more more pros, feeling good and helping someone else, obviously. But like if you let it drain you, that's not good. But if you let it reward you, it's good. So it also just kind of depends on the mindset. Fear obviously is another example of relationship. If it's if you stay in if it's a relationship that's based like off fear, that would be an unbalance of the scales, kind of. So those are two examples that kind of conflict with the theory. Nice, being overly nice, which is good, and then sometimes sadly fear mongering. So yeah, and then comparison level. This is how you compare with other social comparisons or comparisons to past experiences. So with past experiences, you have higher standards potentially on what people have to meet, whether it be work, relationships, or friendships. Then alternatives comparisons, seeing other things that potentially relationships that might benefit us more than if the other current relationship is draining us. So yeah, this is social exchange theory. I know this one was kind of a short one, kind of just a chill one, but yeah. So in conclusion, as people, we seek out positive aspects in life and our relationships, but we want the least burdens as well, which can sometimes cause conflictions. However, if we could learn to get along with each other, typically we have strong, long-lasting relationships, and we can have better relationships. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.